Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Literally My Life, my guide to girlhood. Happy New Year, guys. I am so excited to be back. I'm so sorry for taking that brief hiatus. In all honesty, I can't multitask, and I had to do my college essays, and I'm really sorry for missing it because I missed you guys so much. Every week that I don't do the podcast, I feel like I'm just like missing a little piece of my heart. Like, I just miss you guys. But that's okay. We are back. We're going to have a great episode. Today, we're going to be discussing those things that we are leaving in 2024. Those things that we're just going to leave behind in order to fully embrace 2025 and make it our year. You know what I mean? Like every year, I don't know if you guys ever see these, but I see these on Instagram all the time. I always see people talk about the things that we're leaving in said year, and they make these like ins and outs lists, right? And I made one this year and everybody loved my outs. Like they were like, oh my God, I love your outs. I love this, I love that, or whatever. And I was like, maybe I should make the next podcast episode about this. So here we are. And I'm really excited to be doing this. I hate to do this part always, but it's needed. Before we get started into today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you guys were to follow our Instagram and our TikTok at Literally My Life MGTG podcast to stay updated on all things My Guide to Girlhood. The links are in the episode description below. Submit all of your fan questions to our Ask Alex segment for a chance to be featured in the next podcast episode, and subscribe to our daily newsletter. I love our daily newsletter. We have our newsletter on Substack where I basically expand on our podcast episodes and write about whatever my heart is feeling for the day, and it's very freeing. I suggest you guys start a Substack blog. It's very freeing. Now we've gotten all of that out, let's get into today's episode. So I wrote down, I'm basically going straight off of this offs list, or outs list, whatever, sorry. And here I wrote down about how many things, 9 or 8 things. First thing, shame. We are letting go of shame in 2025. Leaving it. We're letting it go, okay? I think shame is one of the bigger burdens you will ever deal with in your life. And I think it really does affect your mental health. And I think it really does stunt your mental growth, like, or physical growth, or your personal growth overall. Like, I really do think it stunts you as a person. I'm somebody, as a child, I struggled a lot with what I thought was guilt. I would just feel immensely bad about doing literally anything. Like, as, like, anything. Like, not, like, big stuff, but, like, just, like, small stuff. I would feel really bad about it. Like, it would eat me alive. Until I started to do my research and realized that I was not experiencing, like, bad guilt like what I thought I was. I was experiencing shame, which is different. Guilt is like your subconscious's way of like letting you know that you did something wrong, letting you know that what you did was not right, and it's holding you accountable, and it's part of the human experience. And it's good to feel guilt because that's when you know that you can hold yourself accountable, which you need to do as a human. If you don't feel guilty, that's a whole different conversation. Shame, however, I feel like is this black cloud that kind of like sits on your head and makes you feel bad and relive a moment of you messing up. Even though you've acknowledged that what you did was wrong and that you feel remorse about it, it still sits with you. It eats you up. It shames you. It makes you feel bad as a person, which is all very unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get anywhere by shaming yourself over choices you've made in your life. I talk a lot about on this podcast about forgiveness and how you have to forgive others in order to move on with your life. Well, shame is preventing you from forgiving yourself. How do you think you're going to move forward in life and you can't forgive yourself? Two and two is not adding up. Like, it's not giving 4. Like, it's a really big deal. And I just struggle with shame for so long. And I even struggle with it now. Like, sometimes I do feel deeply ashamed over small things. And I have to correct myself or talk through about this in therapy and stuff and just really get through that, because that is something I'm leaving in 2024. I am not ashamed. We are all human. We have all made mistakes. I have sinned just as much as the next person. But especially, leaning on my faith and my personal religious background journey, that made no sense as a sentence, but I'm sure you guys got what I meant. I know that I'm redeemed through God's love and his mercy, so I don't have to deal with that, right? Okay. Yeah. One thing that's important when letting go of shame and embracing self-love is to realize the difference between guilt and shame. I gave a iffy definition, so I suggest you guys definitely do some research, talk to your therapist about it, talk to a counselor about it, because once I realized like the actual definition, I was like, okay, well, now I'm just a human being that's hung up over their mistakes, and that's just keeping me sad all day. Where is that getting me? And I was able to, like, that was my call to action, and I got up and was like, I don't want to feel ashamed anymore. I forgive myself. Learn to forgive yourself once you realize the difference. I forgive myself for the mistakes that I've made, and I'm going to let go of it. I'm going to let go. I'm leaving every burden at the cross, and I'm moving on. And that's what it is. It's nothing more than that. Okay, our second thing we're letting go of: Preconceived notions of others. Okay, this is a big one to me. Okay, we talked about my personal testimony and how I dealt with a lot of preconceived notions from other people's. Okay, there is such importance on releasing judgments about people based on stereotypes or assumptions. Okay, especially rumors and gossip. Okay, I'm at that age, I'm 17, I'm in high school, so gossip is like mainstream. Like my whole life is like a tabloid. Okay. Like I'm used to it, okay? By now I'm used to it. But I think it is so unfair, and I think this is just from my experience, that's why it's like so personal to me. I think it's so unfair for people to be rude to a person, and I'm guilty of this too. I think it's just unfair as humans that we judge people because of things we've heard about them. I think it's unfair as humans that we judge people based on what they look like or what we've heard they act like or whatever. We just don't want to be around this person or don't give them a chance to prove them, not even prove themselves, but to show us who they really are because of, like we said, that, like I said, those preconceived notions. I think it's very dumb. I think it's very dumb. I think that's not how you should treat a person. I think every person has a right to show themselves who they like. I think every person has the right to express themselves freely and have people get to know them based on who they are and their heart and their intentions and their character, and not the gossip that we've heard of them from room 102. Okay, I am working on approaching people with a clean slate this year. Okay, I don't care what I've heard about you because, like I said, I'm at that age. Like I told you, my whole life's a tabloid. I'm working on approaching people with a clean slate. I don't care who you are. I don't care what I've heard or whatever. You're nice to me. I don't care about what Becky and Sue and John and Jill and Bill said about you. Okay. I definitely think that we should all think about the reasons why we see and treat others, and we should focus on empathy over assumptions. You know, a lot of that might be personal stereotypes we have on race or gender, or it might just be like agendas we have in our head. It might be jealousy. You have to clock that. You might not like somebody because you're secretly jealous of them. Yeah, I have to clock myself sometimes too. I'm like, ooh, girl, like you might just be jealous. You never know. That might be a factor in it. Okay. Third thing, I'm excited for this one. Overconsumption. We are letting go of overconsumption. You know how I realized I was a part of overconsumption? Because I always preached about it. I'm like, we do not need more than we need. Okay, that sounds like redundant, but it's true. But serious, I was cleaning out my closet and I looked at my closet and I'm cleaning out all these clothes. I had 4 bags of donation clothes to give away. I have 4 bags of that stuff. I realized I was like, oh my God, I'm over consuming like crazy. Like, you don't need this, that, and that, and that, and that, and that. There is such danger of overconsumption in society, both mentally and physically. Like, it is really bad. Like, it's really bad. And just think about every time you overconsume something, whether it's like perfume or like, I don't know, like cigarettes or, whatever. Both of those behaviors, they're bad for you and for other people. Like if you're smoking, you're giving other people, because you're smoking in public. Like if you're smoking in your bedroom, that's just weird. But if you're smoking in public, you're giving people like the risk of developing secondhand smoke and getting cancer, because you can get cancer from secondhand smoke. If you're smoking in your room though, you're also endangering yourself. Like you're hurting your lungs. And consuming, like I said, the perfume or whatever, there's going to be a perfume shortage at one point because you have 12,000 bottles of perfume in your bathroom. And that's a personal call because I have a lot of perfume. I have a big basket of perfume. If this were a YouTube video, I would pick up the camera and go show you guys my bathroom. It's not even funny. I am like, I realized that was like a big thing for me cleaning out my closet. I'm like, I need to step away from the cycle of like more and focus on quality over quantity. Like I'm telling you guys, 2025 is going to be a minimalist year because in reality, you don't need material things or certain behaviors. And that's a certain behaviors heavy on that one. You don't need either of those things to feel happy or fulfilled in your life. My happiness, like I said, my happiness comes from Jesus. Okay. And he's there all the time. Okay. He don't care how many bottles of perfume I need. He's there. Okay, so I I'm learning to depend on my faith and that, and not the material things of this world. I think it's so easy to get caught up in things that we want and things that are shiny, but all that glitters is not gold. So we are leaving overconsumption in the past. Okay, minimize distractions and think about when you're buying something or when you're engaging in an unhelpful behavior. Just think like, do I really need this, or do I just need to pray? Do I just need to pray? Because you more than likely just need to pray. Fourth thing is we are letting go of anxiety. Okay. We are releasing anxiety, babe. Let me tell you about this one. Okay. I don't know if I shared this with you guys because I feel like I don't give a lot of insights into my therapy journey. But I was diagnosed with anxiety in 2024, and I'm leaving it in 2024. And now I know I'm not an idiot. Like, I know the science behind mental health, and I know that it's not just something I say, I'm kind of done with being anxious. I'm kind of tired of worrying. Like, I'm gonna leave that there because a million people would do that. Like, that's like the easiest thing to do. So I know that's not how it is. But anxiety, I just can't carry that burden anymore. Like, I can't. And all things, like I said, are possible through Jesus Christ, right? I'm leaving all of my anxieties and my worries at the cross. Like, I'm not carrying that with me anymore. Anxiety really impacts day-to-day life, and letting go of it, I know, is just going to bring me such peace. Like, I was one of those people that worried. I worried about every possible income. I worried about every possible outcome. I worried about everything. I worried about any and everything that could happen. And it was exhausting. It weighed on me. It was awful. And I hated it. I really did hate it. It was so bad. But I realized I don't want to live like that anymore. Anxiety has really affected me. And I'm letting it go in 2025. I am letting it go. How am I going to do this? Well, pay attention. I'm going to talk to Jesus about it. If you are thinking about it, pray about it. If you're worrying about it, praying about it, pray about it. Like I said, I have so many mistakes in this episode, but it's okay. What is that quote we talked about with 50 Cent's grandma? Like, you can either worry or pray, but you can't do both. She clocked it there. Okay, that's how it is. I'm either going to worry about it or I'm going to pray, but I can't do both. And that's how it is. I'm going to pray. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Every time I can't talk about it on camera or anything. Not that it was anything bad, but it's just, So I can't talk about it, but I went through this like very, what I would say, a worrisome situation this past weekend trying to do something. And it looks like it didn't work out, but that's okay. But I wasn't worried about it this whole time. It was like very stress relieving. Like, I was like, you know what? God got it, because I don't got it. I'm gonna let God fix it, because if I fix it, I'm gonna go to jail. Okay. No, I don't know who said that, but I love saying that. Because if I fix it, I'm gonna go to jail. So I've been praying about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and stress. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. I'm gonna pray over it, and God is going to open a door for me. I don't know what door He's gonna open, but I'm just going to let God do it. Because, like I said, if I do it, I'm gonna go to jail. So I'm personally leaving my anxiety in 2024. I don't know about y'all, but I'm letting Jesus take care of it. Number 5, dirty spaces. We are letting go of dirty spaces in 2025. We have to let it go, babe. We have to let it go. Now, there is a deep connection, because the Bible also says that cleanliness is next to godliness, and God never misses, but He really did miss on that one. There is such a connection between physical clutter and mental clutter. Like, there is a connection between the two clutters, okay? I don't know what it is, but I genuinely do feel like very confused and anxious when my room is dirty. My room is dirty now. I'm not anxious though, because I left anxiety back in 2024. But I just don't feel like myself. Like, you need like a clean space in order to maneuver. You need a clean space in order to really get stuff done. And that's the truth. You really do. So I like a clean and an organized space really promotes mental clarity. I'm able to get stuff done faster. I think better. I feel more at peace. I feel demure, like, when my room is clean. So I'm working on keeping my room clean all the time. I always say that every time I clean it, and somehow 50 bajillion clothes end up on the floor. But that's okay. If anybody has some simple steps to declutter their environments and create spaces that nurture positivity, please let me know. Like, the thing I'm working on is just like, when I like take off my clothes, like fold them up and not put them in my chairs and just put them in the drawer right away, or in the dirty clothes basket, but they're still on that chair. I don't know how that's working out, but I'm gonna have a clean room in 2025. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to have a clean room. I have too much to do to have a dirty room. 6th thing, big thing. We're letting go of lust. We are letting go of lust. Let me tell you guys this. As I have gotten deeper into reading my word and deeper into prayer and deeper into the Bible, I've actually learned the definition, or I think I've learned the difference between love and lust. Okay. Now, I've learned that a lot of people actually do crave, and I can speak on this. A lot of people actually do crave true love and true intimacy. And we mistake true love and true intimacy, because of the way sex is so promoted in hookup culture, with lust. And we think, oh my God, we have to sleep with these people in order to emotionally connect with them, which is so backwards. But that's what we think as a society as a whole. But what we really want, we don't really care. Like, obviously, sex feels good or whatever, but we really care about the emotional connection. That's what we really yearn for, and we think the only way to achieve that is through sex. That is lusting. I have realized, like nobody cares about, well, okay, that's an overgeneralized statement, but people really care about love. Like, period, people really want that emotional connection with people. People don't want to just have sex and move on with their life. Like, that's not anybody's goal. That's not anybody's goal. People really want love and emotional connection and intimacy. And that's what I want. I am letting go, like, not that I've ever engaged in it, but I'm letting go of lust and surface level desires because I want a deeper relationship with a person. I want true, genuine, old school marriage and romance, okay? I don't want not that I ever engaged in it. I don't want that, new school hookup culture or whatever. I definitely suggest that you guys focus on love and trust and emotional depth instead of fleeting attraction, because sex and attractive people and all that stuff, it comes and goes, but you will feel empty at the end of the day giving up your body to people who are not worth it, who do not love you, who do not value you as a person. They are not worthy of taking your body, and you're not going to be more loved or more looked at if you are just having sex with people. I don't know why people think that, but they do. Everybody wants love and wants attention, and sex is just not the way to give it. So we are leaving lust in 2024, babe. We are leaving lust. Seventh thing, we are letting go of laziness, babe. We are letting it go, okay? Let me tell you this. There's a quote I saw on Pinterest. Let me tell you, those Pinterest quotes, I saw this quote. A month from now, you can have a month of progress or a month of results from your laziness. That wasn't the exact quote, but you get what I mean. You can have a month of progress and growth or just being in the same old spot. And that spoke to me. Like, I want to embrace discipline and consistency in 2025. Farthest I got in 2024 was because I didn't stop. I kept my foot on my own neck, okay? Like, I didn't stop moving. I kept working hard and hard, and I've been able to achieve such success by working hard and by like not stopping and staying consistent and not succumbing to laziness or distracting spirits or whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep on working, and nothing is going to get in my way. I want these certain goals. I made like a goal list, and I did that again this year. I do that every year. I made a goal list of things that I want to achieve, right? And I made an actual reasonable plan, like a SMART goal on how I'm going to do it, and I got that done. Because I can look back at 2024 and be like, I got this done, this done, this done, this done, and I'm this much closer to achieving my dreams. I'm this much closer to getting to my goal. I am not going to sit on my butt anymore and allow opportunities to pass me by because I simply do not feel like seizing them. That's not going to happen anymore. Obviously there are boundaries. Obviously you do need to rest when needed. Obviously you need to listen to your body, and I'm trying to work on that because now I'm like at a point where I don't rest. So like I used to rest too much. Now I don't rest. So it's like this whole thing. But I'm definitely embracing discipline. I'm definitely embracing consistency in 2024. I am going to get things done this year. If it's like the last thing I do, I'm going to get some stuff done. Okay. I want to encourage you guys to pray on it. I want to encourage you guys to pray to break the cycle of inconsistency. I want you guys to pray on building momentum toward achieving your goals, right? Just pray on it. Pray God for great spirit that knows the balance, okay? That knows when to sit down and when to rest and when to get up and when to work and how to network your opportunities and how to get it done, okay? Pray on it, because that's what I've been doing. I'm like, God, give me the motivation. I did that this morning. I was like, God, give me the motivation to get through today because I'm tired. I am physically tired. Last night I was at Derek Rose night at the United Center. I'm so excited. I was so excited to go, but I was so exhausted last night. I think I slept in my makeup. I still have to get up today, do my college applications, and record to you guys, and I got it done through Jesus. And I'm not gonna go to bed tonight till probably like midnight, and I'm gonna have to get up in the morning and get it done in His name, in His name, like in His name. Okay, I love doing this now. Okay, last thing, we're letting go of blasphemy. Now, this is not anything I've ever typically engaged in. I've always been very big on like not disrespecting the name of God, even when I haven't been super religious. But let me tell you, there's importance in respecting other people's beliefs and reconnecting, with their spirituality or whatever, and letting them disrespect your God. I have friends who are of different religions, absolutely, but do you think I will ever let them say anything blasphemous about Jesus? No, I don't even entertain blasphemous spirits. If you say something bad about God in front of me, I'm going to try to disconnect, not that. I'm going to try to educate you, not disconnect. I'm going to try to educate you on what you said. I'm going to definitely try to have a conversation on how that made me uncomfortable. And I'm going to talk to you about Jesus. I'm going to get preachy because you're not going to disrespect the King of Kings. You're not going to do that in front of me. But definitely, since strengthening my faith, I'm definitely letting go of that negativity about the one and only person that saved me, which was God. Like I told you guys, I literally almost lost my life, and God is the only reason I got it back. If you think I'm going to be around people who don't praise him, it's insane. My actionable tip for this and how to nurture your spiritual self and treat your beliefs with reverence is to pray on it and pray for God to reveal and remove those blasphemous spirits in your life. And it may not just be people, it may be your actions, maybe the music you listen to. I don't know. I used to love some Rico Nasty, but then I listened to her music and I'm like, oh, she's a little blasphemous. I got to stop listening to her. So ask God to reveal that to you. Okay. Now we are getting into our final segment. I think this is like the shortest episode we've ever done, but I told you guys I was tired. Like, we are not doing this tonight. Okay. Ask Alex. So I love doing Ask Alex. If you are new here, Ask Alex is basically a segment where fans submit questions through our Google form, which is in the episode description below. And I get to answer your questions in our next episode and just give you guys all my tips. And we just have so much fun doing it. And I'm so excited. Alexandra, you always radiate confidence and wisdom. Well, thank you. How do you practice self-love and forgiveness when you're feeling down? Ooh, that's a good one. This is such a good one. How do I practice self-love and forgiveness when I'm feeling down? I remind myself that I am not who I think I am. I am redeemed in God's spirit. So I'm not this, horrible person or no, I don't listen to my thoughts anymore. I've like thought trained in a way. I listen like I'll say stuff to myself that's pretty ugly and then I'll be like, that's actually not true because the Bible says this. The Bible says that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. You know I love that verse. I quote that all the time. The Bible actually says I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible actually says if God is for you, who can be against you? The Bible actually says your body's a temple, babe. Why are you over here criticizing your body and your body's a temple? But when I have those issues with shame and forgiveness, I remember that God forgave me. So why would I hold this grudge against myself if God can forgive me? Like the person who should probably hate my guts as much as I've disappointed God loves me and listens to my prayers. So if he can give me a million chances, I can give myself one, okay? And just try and do better every day. I love that question. 2. Alex, I admire how driven you are, especially with everything you've accomplished already. Thank you. What's one thing you're most excited to let go of in 2025? I would say lust. That was a big thing for me. Lust for sure. I think that's the one I'm most lust and shame because I feel like they go two and two together. I feel like shame can I think lust feeds off of shame, especially when you think of like pornography and stuff. Not that, but I think that's one thing. I think like pornography and lust and all that stuff feeds off of shame because it's stuff you don't want to talk about in public. It's like something that's like, oh, like it was done in the dark. Like I can't talk about it in the light. I'm just letting go of both of those things. I have no more. You get nothing else from me today. Okay. Alex, you've been such an inspiration in terms of staying true to yourself. How do you stay authentic despite societal pressures or expectations? Well, thank you. These are all so nice. Why are these so nice? How do I stay authentic despite societal pressures or expectations? One thing about me, I have been around people who have made it and have let all of that get to their head, and I have hated that about them. And that's one thing that's one thing I've vowed to myself to never do. I have vowed to stay authentic despite the popularity growth. I vowed to stay authentic despite who I may interview or whatever. I'm still going to be the same person. I'm still going to be kind. I'm still going to be loving because, your circumstances, what God gives, he can always take. So stay humble, right? Hi, Alex. Your consistency and focus are goals. Thank you, honey. How do you stay motivated when life gets tough, and how do you overcome moments of doubt? So when life gets tough, I pray. When life is good, I pray. I pray and I pray and I pray and I pray. I stay motivated when life gets tough because I've also seen God turn what I thought would be my biggest setback into my biggest blessing. So I have no doubt that every time I get a no, a better yes is coming. How about that? And I have moments of doubt. Like there are times I'm even like, God, like if you love me, why would you let me go through this? But I know God does not allow pain without purpose. So I know that there's a purpose in my pain. So I just thank God for it. I heard this in a Drake video once. I kid you not. It may not be good, but thank God for it. Even if it's not good, even if it's the worst thing in your life, thank God for it. And that's what I do. I thank God for the doubt. I thank God for the pain. And I go to him with my doubt, even if it's not about God, even if it's just about what's going on in my life. I go to God with my doubt. I pray through it, and he delivers every single time. Alex, I'm an OG fan. Oh. I've noticed you've grown so much over the past year, both personally and professionally. What's the biggest change you've noticed in yourself? That is like probably the sweetest question I've gotten on the Ask Alex. That's so sweet. Well, one, I want to say thank you for being an OG fan and for seeing my growth, because the growth from this January, from last January, babe, only God, only he can do it. What's the biggest change I've noticed in myself? I think I'm more lightweight these days. I think I'm more happy. I think I'm more busy, but that's what I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be so incredibly busy, and I've gotten my prayers. I've gotten my prayers answered. I've noticed that I'm happier. I'm lightweight, and I don't want to credit that to my success because it's mostly God, but it has been you guys. It has been doing the podcast. It has been interviewing people. It has been getting stuff I just never imagined I would get, and I'm just so grateful for that. I don't know, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Like, it just means so much. I love you guys. Okay. Last question. Alex, you're so positive and proactive about your goals. What's one goal you're setting for 20 What's one goal you're setting for yourself in 2025, and how do you plan to achieve it? Well, thank you for that compliment. That meant a lot. What's one goal I'm setting for myself in 2025, and how do I plan to achieve it? I wrote out a lot of goals this year for my professional life, my personal life, or my career. One big goal for me this year is that I want to stay really consistent in my faith. I want to find a really good Bible study group. I want to stay in church. Actually, I'm going to read you guys some of my goals. I'm going to pull up the document now. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to pull up this document now and read you guys some of my goals that I set on New Year's. And I'll read you at least one goal from every column. How about that? That'll be our little ending treat. So for my personal growth, I actually love all these. So I want to deepen my relationship with God by reading my Bible consistently, joining a church or faith group, and pray daily. I want to journal regularly to process my thoughts and track my growth and stay open and vulnerable in therapy. That's my biggest one, staying open and vulnerable. I want to develop a that girl routine with morning affirmations, self-care evenings, and weekly personal check-ins. And I want to read at least 15 inspiring books that help me grow spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. For career and education, you guys know I don't like to talk about things before they happen. So the only thing I want to share with you guys is I want to graduate high school with honors, making Whitney Young proud. For my health, I want to create a consistent workout routine. I actually want to do my 75 hard all over again. I want to lose 15 to 20 pounds and feel more confident in my body than ever. I want to prioritize healthy eating habits while still enjoying treats. So sushi, non-negotiable. And I want to commit to self-care Sundays for skin care and hair care and overall relaxation. You guys know I already do those, but I could up my game a little bit. But for relationships, I really don't like talking about my romantic relationships on here. So the only thing I want to share is build strong friendships with like-minded individuals who uplift and inspire me. For fun adventures, I don't want to talk too much into this. I like to keep things private, guys, I'm sorry. But I do want to plan an 18th birthday bash, something glamorous, something unforgettable, but something kind of intimate because I don't like a lot of people. For miscellaneous power goals, I will share one with you guys. I want to get my podcast featured in a major publication or a media outlet. Okay. Well, yeah. That's all I want to share for right now. You guys know I'm weirdly private about some things. I just don't like to speak on things before they happen because I get embarrassed if they don't. And I like keeping my dreams and my goals are in here. Okay. What were your guys? I want to hear what were your guys 2025 goals? What were your goals when you were writing on New Year's Eve? What was up? And what'd you guys do for New Year's? I went out, me and my good friend Jacob, we went to a party on the south side, which ended up in terror, but it was really fun. I got to reconnect with some of my old friends. I had a really good time. So what did you guys do? Share that with me. And I'm so happy I got to share my goals list with you guys. That was unexpected. I love you guys. This is what I love about the podcast. You guys bring out such a fun, loose side in me because I am pretty uptight if you guys can't tell. And I love you guys. I want to end off this with like a note of encouragement because I am about to go to bed. That's a non-negotiable. But I want to give you guys a little words of encouragement, and I want to let you guys know that this is going to be your year. God is saying that you're going to level up this year and you're going to face some challenges. He's not saying it's going to be a perfect year. You know, you're definitely going to struggle with some of that stuff we're letting go of. You're definitely going to go through a spiritual attack or two. Oh, let me share that with you guys. I went through a very bad spiritual attack last week, which is insane because our newsletter was literally about a spiritual attack I was facing. No, it wasn't. Our newsletter was about how to deal with spiritual attacks. And then I went through one and it was really bad. But I prayed through it and I came through on the other side, and I feel like I've made the most progress I've made since like November. So I feel really good. But that spiritual attack almost like took me out. It was so bad. But you're going to go through a thing or two, right? But Jesus is going to pull you through it. So do not lose sight of him. No matter what you're in, no matter what you're doing, no matter what opportunity or how much money or whatever is thrown your way, do not lose sight of Jesus in 2025. Do not lose sight of Jesus in 2025. If that's the only thing you take away from this episode, then okay. Our ins for this episode is Jesus, okay? Our outs, the devil. Okay. Oh my God, I love doing this, you guys. Do not let your limiting beliefs and habits get rid of you in the way of your 2025. You're going to grow to be such a beautiful person. And the only way to do that is stay consistent. Stay consistent in everything you do, especially in prayer. And do not let anything get in your way. Do not ever be discouraged, because if God is for you, then who can be against you? Okay. I want to encourage you guys to reflect on your own lives and think about what you want to let go, what you want to let go of as you move into the new year. Okay. Reminder, subscribe, leave a review, stay connected for future episodes. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending the last 35 minutes with me yapping. And thank you for everyone who listens to the podcast. This has been an amazing year, being able to spend the last year with you guys sitting here in the corner of my living room. This actually isn't my living room, but you guys get what I mean. Yapping to you guys about all things my life, and all of my advice has been so incredibly meaningful, and I love you guys. You guys have blessed me beyond comprehension. Like, the fact that people actually listen to this and love this and like look up to me, it is insane, and you can see I'm getting a little emotional, so I'm gonna end it here. I love you guys so much. To an amazing 2025 and a lot more of Alex. You guys are gonna see so much more of me this year. I can tell you guys that. Have a good night or day or whatever. Yeah, this will come out in the morning, so have a good day. And I love you guys. See you guys next week.